Tips for a healthy brain, 7 habits to avoid. Illnesses that affect brain health tend to depend on genetic factors, advanced age or some kind of trauma. However, continuous practice of certain habits can also generate irreversible damage if neurons are killed or their activity is reduced. Although memory loss is a side effect of brain deterioration that happens with old age, there are some factors that can make matters worse or accelerate the process. The most worrying thing of all is that many people choose to ignore these bad habits. Plus, they may be unaware as to why they tend to produce negative side effects in that area of the body. In addition, the damage tends to gradually take place and it is hard to detect when it is in the initial stages. For this reason, it's fundamental to identify unhealthy habits and take measures to avoid them. Bad habits that affect your brain health. Skipping breakfast. Breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day. It should not be ignored under any circumstances. This meal plays a fundamental role in our body's metabolism. Although many don't know this, it's also essential in activating brain functions throughout the day. Deficiency of proteins, vitamins and other nutrients during breakfast are related to brain deterioration and memory loss. Also, neuron activity is affected and consequently an overload is expressed through tension. Eating excess sugar. Unfortunately, refined sugars are present in many diets today. Amazingly, what very few people know is that they are the main cause of metabolic disorders and some cognitive illnesses. High levels of sugar reduce the production of chemical substances in the brain, which regulate important functions. The daily consumption of these sugars is one of the causes of anxiety, depression and the risk of dementia. Smoking. Everyone knows that cigarettes are filled with toxic substances that negatively impact our health. Habitual consumption causes lung damage. Plus, brain functions are also considerably affected in the long run. Both active smokers and passive smokers have a great risk in developing problems related to dementia and Alzheimer's. This is due to blood flow interruption which stops the correct processing of cellular oxygenation. Furthermore, smoking reduces the capacity of concentration and activities that depend on memory. Sleeping poorly. Poor sleep quality doesn't only cause a lack of physical energy, but also mental energy. The frontal lobe does not work appropriately when the body doesn't rest enough. Therefore, as a consequence, creative thinking diminishes. At the same time, anxiety increases and the ability to control emotions decreases together with the ability to resolve day-to-day problems. Sleep deprivation also increases cortisol levels, which generates stress, depression and other emotions that affect your quality of life. Not hydrating. Dehydration is one of the main factors that affects brain health directly. It interferes with energy levels, moods and the ability to concentrate during daily tasks. Water is the main component of the brain. Thus, the lack of liquids interrupts essential processes necessary for optimal function of the brain. On the other hand, water deficiency also contributes to poor circulation and interferes with proper brain oxygenation. Exposure to contaminated environments. The brain requires a continuous supply of oxygen in order to offer us energy and cognitive abilities. Yet, long-term exposure to contaminated environments can get in the way of gas exchange and the transport of oxygen to cells. This leads to a decrease in brain efficiency. In fact, this factor increases the risk of serious cognitive problems such as Alzheimer's and dementia. Eating excessively. Excessive intake of calories and fats doesn't only impact metabolism and body weight, but also brain health. Overweight leads to illnesses such as diabetes and heart diseases. Plus, it ends up affecting your brain health in one way or another. Moderate consumption of calories will postpone cellular aging and decrease the risk of cognitive degeneration. In conclusion, although its effects aren't seen instantly, it is best to avoid these habits in order to protect your brain. Instead, adopt a healthy and balanced diet and practice mental exercises and relaxation techniques.